Ladies and gentlemen, man, oh man, do not adjust your set. It's Hitman Cause. Welcome to your official Money to Make review. And of course, I'm not alone here. Please welcome the co-host. It's the humble man.
Yes, sir. What's going on? What's going on? My man Cause Painting. What's going on, yo? It's good to be here. SummerSlam was, oh my lord.
Oh, that it was, man. Yo, this like for for the first pay per view in front of a live audience, WWE in my opinion knocked it out the park.
We did. They most definitely really knocked out the park, especially the ending. But once we talk about the ending from beginning to the end, you'll see why we saying what we're saying.
Yeah, yeah, yep, man. Let's get started with the pre-show, where the Usos defended the Usos challenged the Mysterios for the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Oh yeah, man. That was a great match. Honestly, a great match, and I'm glad the Usos got the tag team championships back. I'm glad they're tag team champions again. They deserve it.
Absolutely, yo. Well, thanks to the humble man being present with me, freaking, I was able to see the replay, because unfortunately, I didn't get to see the actual pinfall, but that did not stop us from celebrating. Man, it's now 7 times the Usos have done it, and now the bloodline is complete.
Yes, yes, the bloodline is complete, and I'm glad all three, Roman Reigns and the Usos, are champs. The bloodline.
Yeah, man, and Roman did express his pleasure in them winning, but he wasn't satisfied quite yet because because he wanted one last thing to happen, and that was for Jimmy to acknowledge him, in which he did. And yeah, and he, and and with Jimmy finally acknowledging him, they have now all come full circle. And now, and now, and now, for the moment, it looks like nobody can stop the bloodline.
Looks like nobody at all could stop the bloodline at all. I mean, they're together. I mean, listen, they're unstoppable. They're an unstoppable force at the moment. You understand? So, who's gonna be able to take them out? Just gotta tune in and see.
Yep. Then the main card uh, started off where we had the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and I can't even front the match. The match was a little better than I expected it to be.
Yup, it really was. It was what I expected it to be. The women's Money in the Bank match. Honestly speaking, the winner was shocking. We never thought who it would have been. The person winning, the person who won. Once my man Cuz says, then we're gonna discuss more.
Yeah, man. Especially the way she won, was pretty clever. And if you guys didn't see it, Nikki Ash, almost a superhero, whatever you want to call her, was the one to come through and pick up the victory. And she did it in such a clever way, because what happened was, in the closing moments of the match, every competitor minus minus Nikki was on a ladder fighting each other uh, below the briefcase. And so then what Nikki did was that she, I'd say, in a very subtle way, or maybe, or maybe sneaky way, something like that. Either way, she snuck her way up the ladder. And she was on top of, and she was a little over Liv Morgan, and she was able to unhook the briefcase to win the match.
Right. Nikki Ash winning was honestly like unexpected. We thought some others were gonna win. We never thought it would have been her winning. And the way out, she just comes and won when all of them was fighting on top of the ladders, and it's like neither of them acknowledged her, and then she won. She just hooked the briefcase and won. That was shocking.
Yep, and honestly, what I liked was the look on on the rest of the competitors' faces when Nikki was celebrating. Freaking all of them were just sitting on the ladder, freaking completely dumbfounded. Just with looks on their faces like, did that really just happen? Did she really just do that? And for me, I think it's especially funny at the fact that, for one thing, I didn't expect her to win. She was not on my radar at all to win the match. Like, if you guys paid attention to the predictions, myself and the Humble Man, both like we talked about Nikki, but we did not have any. We didn't have any, indication or hope for her winning the match. But lo and behold, she did. And I mean, despite me not liking the gimmick, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at her winning the match or the way she won it. Actually, I like the way she won it, but still, that's besides the point. And now, the only thing to wonder about is when she'll cash in, or if she'll pick the right moment, and if she can win upon cashing in.
That is the truth. We got to see when she's going to cash in, because it's really something. Because as we know, whenever the women win that Money in the Bank, they're always the first ones to cash in before the men do. So we got to see when she's going to cash in.
Also, another thing you got to put into perspective is, and they've highlighted this, throughout the match, was that every woman that has won Money in the Bank has successfully cashed in to become champion. So can Nikki follow that trend, or will she be the first one to break it?
Yeah, we shall see about that. We'll see how Nikki Ash is going to be the one to do so. Definitely have to see.
Yeah, and at the same time, freaking this is just me speaking, but I got such a kick out of everybody that wanted Liv Morgan to win being so PO'd and so butthurt. I was laughing so hard, because I told you on the prediction I didn't want her to win. And since she didn't, like, all the Liv Morgan fans are all up in arms and shit, and here I am just casually sipping on my soda, saying ha ha ha. Anyways, that's out of the way. Moving on to the next next match. Excuse me. I actually didn't think this match would happen next.
Right.
Because I honestly thought they were gonna have the men's Money in the Bank match afterwards, but surprisingly they didn't. Anyways, afterwards they had the Raw Tag Team Championship match. Honestly, I think this has to go into perspective of how little this was promoted. But anyways, it was AJ Styles and Almost defending the Raw tag titles against the Viking Raiders. And honestly, this match should have been promoted more because I totally forgot about this match until it happened. Because like once the pay per view started, I wasn't even thinking about this match. You know?
Right, that pay per view. I mean, that match. Honestly speaking, yeah, it was good, and it almost took the win. And it took the win. AJ Styles almost won and retained, and almost went for the pin.
Yeah, and you know what? I think in my opinion, it was actually a good thing that what's his face that this match was forgotten about because it actually turned out to be a really good match, and AJ Styles and Almost actually looked like an actual team rather than um rather than a cowardly heel hiding behind a much larger guy. Like because they were pulling off tag team moves and whatnot. They were pulling off like freaking almost threw Styles up in the air to have him launch himself onto one of the Raiders. Like, like they actually look legit out there.
Oh yeah, that is for real. They did actually look legit out there in the way how they was fighting. Yes, they really did. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and there actually looked like times where the Raiders were gonna get it. For, like like they actually hit the Viking experience onto Styles, but freaking but they forgot to neutralize Almost and almost threw one of the Raiders into the other to break up the pin.
Right.
And then freaking yeah. And then the next thing you know, actually, the Humble Man noticed this before I did. Was that Styles at one point tagged in Almost, and I didn't even see the tag. He noticed it, to which Styles capitalized. Well, almost did, and and was about to hit the phenomenal forearm before he got thwarted and everything. But anyways, you know, freaking what's his face almost hit the choke bomb on one of the Raiders to get the pin and the win. And I'll be honest, I thought if they were gonna retain, Styles was gonna get the winning fall.
Honestly speaking, I thought that same thing as well. That's what I was thinking if that was gonna happen.
Yeah, and then and yeah, but you know, I think it was to help build more momentum for Almost as a character, you know.
Right, exactly. It was to almost could get built up as a character because he definitely needs it. He is talented, of course, but he needs to get built up more, as we know.
Because you know it's no secret that that he's still that with him still being a rookie, he's still green in the ring. But you know, even with that, part of me, and I might sound a little wild by saying this, but part of me is starting to see shades of Jericho in Styles and Almost.
Honestly, I'm starting to agree now by seeing it a little bit. I'm kind of starting to agree.
Because Styles is already as much of a seasoned veteran as Jericho is. All Almost needs to do is continue polishing his skills and maybe give it a year or two. Then you know he'll be at that level.
That is the truth. They can do that to build him up to that point.
Yeah.
Right.
Then moving on to the next match. Honestly, this match should have been the semi-main event, but hey, whatever. And this is Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston, where he was defending the WWE Championship. Now, we already explained what Kofi did in the predictions. But long story short, he pretty much poked the bear, and in this match, he suffered the consequences of poking the bear.
Yep, Kofi did suffer some major consequences that came his way. My boy Bobby Lashley won and retained the belt.
I mean, that's putting it lightly. Freaking, he won in the exact way that he should have won, and I outlined this in the predictions that he should have dominated, and he did exactly that. Kofi got little offense in, and Bobby Lashley opened up a big old can of whoop ass on him, and beat the brakes off that boy to keep the title.
He really did. Bobby Lashley is where he must be and remain as WWE champion. He did that.
But I will admit, regardless of the match, I still wouldn't have had a problem with Kofi winning. Like straight up.
I would never had a problem with Kofi winning as well. I mean, it's been a while since he's been WWE champion. Come October is going to make it 2 years since he's been WWE champion. So it's about time Kofi becomes champion again. So if he had beaten Lashley, I wouldn't have been upset at all.
Yep. Now moving on to the next match. Man, this match is, in my opinion, the only dark spot of this pay-per-view. Rhea Ripley defending the Raw Women's title against Charlotte Flair.
Honestly speaking, that's correct. That's one of the dark sides of this match, of the pay-per-view. I mean, because honestly speaking, pissed me off. Charlotte Flair winning. Like, why does WWE keep spoiling her? Well, as we know why, but other women need a chance.
Yep, and and one could disagree with it, considering how much the crowd cheered when Charlotte won. But this is our this is our podcast, our opinions, and as far as we're concerned, we were not happy. We were yelling at the TV screen. We were begging for Rhea to find the crawl to the ropes, the counter, do something. And then, but in the end, all Rhea could do was tap out.
That is the truth. That's all Rhea could have done, was tap out. But what did they have? They had to just let Charlotte Flair get her way like that by letting her injure one of Rhea's foots, and then next performing a submission on her for her to tap out just to easily get the belt. Come on, why do you keep spoiling her, giving her everything?
Yeah, but at the same time, technically she didn't cheat, so I will have to admit she did earn the title, and by messing up Rhea's knee, that was the perfect setup for the figure eight. But still, man, just I hate to admit this, but Liv Morgan said it best. Charlotte takes opportunities from other women. And don't get me wrong, given how great Charlotte is in the rings, she deserves it as much as anybody else. But there are still other women who deserve it just as much as she does. And it's gotten to the point where she's taking these opportunities away from other women. And this highlights it, with her winning the title again.
That is correct. Come on, man. She can't keep doing that. There's other way talented female women on the roster that's way talented than her and needs better and more opportunities.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, we were both hoping and praying that Nikki Ash was gonna come by and cash in, but it didn't happen.
Yup, we most definitely were praying that was gonna happen, but I don't know what made them not make that happen. And we were yelling at the TV when Charlotte had won. We were.
Yeah, I think Nikki wanted to pick a better spot than that.
Yeah, possibility. You never know. It may happen on tomorrow night's Raw, or maybe the next pay-per-view, or God knows when.
Yeah, it's got a full year, but that'll happen when it does. Moving on, we had the the ma- uh, moving on, we have the next match. We have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and in my opinion, this match stole the show. Absolutely stole the show. Oh my lord!
Oh yes. Oh yo, that match, flips and everything crashed through tables and all that was a great match. It was really great. That match was great.
First off, before I go further into the match, there's only one Drip King in WWE, and that will be, John Morrison. Seth Rollins. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. You raided John Witherspoon's closet. RP to John Witherspoon, but you raided his closet. You don't know the first thing about Drip. All them suits you be wearing are tacky as shit. So the only Drip King is Johnny Drip Drip, and that's why the crowd was chanting Johnny Drip Drip, because no one got the drip like him. Well, on SmackDown, as far as WWE goes, we all know who has the best drip, and that's Kofi Kingston. But that's besides the point. Moving on to the match, my God, yo, there were so many crazy spots. First off, let's talk about when this dude Ricochet was about to get pushed off the ladder, but he was able to turn that into a moonsault, taking out most of the field.
Yeah, Ricochet really did his thing. It's like he was taking out everybody. He really was doing that high flying jumping. Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, and I really liked his attire. I actually caught on to it before the Humble Man did. Freaking, what's his face? Ricochet's attire was actually loosely based on the Houston Rockets old logo from the mid to late '90s, back when they had that rocket floating by, and they had the blue jerseys with the pinstripes. That logo. Anyways, another crazy spot was freaking when Seth Rollins power bombed Kevin Owens through that ladder, and the ladder was set there for a good minute, we didn't know what was gonna happen when it came to that ladder spot. But once I saw once I saw Seth lift up Owens over there, I knew what he was. I knew what he was about to do, and having Owens go through that table. Oh man, that was so wild.
Oh yeah, it most definitely was. It was really wild. See Owens go through that table. I mean that ladder I meant was really insane. It really was, because that was a great match. Brings back some memories. Brings back some nostalgia from back in the '90s, 2000s.
It certainly does. And actually, another spot during the match. Freaking this dude Riddle paying homage to his tag partner Randy Orton, going on an RKO spree, hitting everybody with it, yo. Freaking, I like how he yanked freaking Ricochet off the ladder and hit him with it in midair. I think he did the same to Seth Rollins or something like that. Like he was actually being Randy Orton, and freaking and I was loving it.
Oh yeah, man, that was entertaining. It really was. I was loving it as well. You gotta love it. Gotta love Riddle.
But my question is, how is Randy gonna act? Is gonna react when he comes back? Because he's been away for a while.
Yeah, I wonder how's that gonna happen too. I wonder.
Yeah, but and then freaking oh, and then along with all those spots, actually, there's another spot that I wanted to talk about that could have and should have gone better. Where I think Kevin Owens was laid up on the ladder, and then John Morrison tried to do this parkour like flip onto him, but he barely grazed him, and I think he more hurt himself more than Owens.
Yeah, he really did.
And the camera did a good job to to try and not make it obvious, but it was way too obvious that he missed.
Yup, it really was. Way too obvious to show that he missed. That was insane. I don't know how did he even manage to make that happen?
Yeah, but it might be with a botch like that. I'm surprised he didn't seriously injure himself.
I'm surprised at that as well, that he didn't injure himself as well, because that was like really like insane.
Yeah, but moving on to the closing moments of the match, we had freaking we had John Moore's excuse me Johnny Drip Drip, and I think it was Ricochet at the top of the ladder. Next thing you know, old boy, old boy Johnny Drip Drip pulls out the drip stick and sprays Ricochet in the face with it. And then at that point, it looks like he's about to win, but then Seth Rollins swoops in, takes takes him out, and then also that's when the RKO spree happens, where Riddle goes on a rampage. But while he's imitating Orton, he gets hit with the curb stomp, and then Seth Rollins is then making his way to the top. But then out comes Big E to go to the top of the ladder and hit him with the biggest of big endings. But before I go and finish this off, we have to briefly speak about what happened before then, and that was old boy Drew McIntyre. He if anybody, he was about to win the match until Jinder Mahal's goons came and beat the brakes off him and dragged him away.
Exactly. That was out. That's one of the things that pissed me off. That what Jinder Mahal did to my boy Drew McIntyre. He was one of the favorites to win.
Hey man, speak for yourself. I had no problem with Jinder doing that, cause after what he did to Jinder's motorcycle, he deserved that. But we'll have to agree to disagree. Anyways, so at the end of the match, after the big ending, Big E climbed the ladder and unhooked the briefcase to win the match. And both myself and the humble man were marking out, man. That moment right here these us two right here were very proud fans to finally see Big E get the big payoff that one of the big payoffs that he so rightfully deserves, winning Money in the Bank. And in my opinion, taking that first step to superstardom.
Yes, correct. Honestly speaking, my boy Big E, the fact that he won is about time. It's his time to be a champion now. Hell yeah, he deserves it. Truly does. That was one of my picks to win as well.
Yep, and I really didn't have much of a problem with anybody in this match, but I was pulling for Big E, and for him to win it, oh man, I could not stay quiet. We were both marking out. We loved it. It was the right moment. It was Big E's moment. It was the big moment.
It really was, like he said, the big moment. If y'all want to go big, then say that, like what it says on the songs.
Yep. Now, moving on to the main event, we had the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, defending the Universal title against Edge. And Edge felt that this was his opportunity to to finally make it back to the top of the mountain after 10 years of being on the shelf, of being forced to retire. He felt that this was his moment in this time, this day and age, after the debacle that happened at WrestleMania. He he honestly couldn't have been any more focused, any more ready for this match than he was.
Right, exactly. Roman and Edge was a great match, and I'm glad my boy Roman won. The match was crazy.
Yep. And during the match, there was a ref bump, and while he was out, at first, freaking Roman once again got a hold of the chair and tried to do the whole barred up crossface thing that Edge did to him and the Usos. Only problem is Edge countered and put it on him and put on Roman once again.
Right. That is what tried to happen. Like, that was really insane.
Yep. And like there was honestly no stopping Edge, and hell, the Usos came out and they were gonna interfere, but freaking the Humble Man noticed this before I did, was that the Mysterios were right behind them.
Right. And I did see and notice that the Mysterios are right behind them. I was wondering who that was at first until I looked closely. I was like, yep, it's them. That was crazy. They wanted to have a rematch for the tag titles, it appears, as we know.
Either that, or they just wanted to just prevent the Usos from interfering. Period.
Could be either one of those as well. That too.
Yeah. Then of course, and then once they were gone, we figured, that was it, and it was gonna stay a one-on-one thing until Seth Rollins stuck his nose where it didn't belong and attacked Edge a little bit, kicking him in the back of the head. But even that kick to the back of the head wasn't enough to stop Edge.
Right, exactly. It wasn't enough to stop Edge at all. Like, that match was crazy. And then you have Seth Rollins interfering, but that Edge did getting him back though.
Yep, because the thing was, he actually, because after Seth interfered the first time, we thought it was it, but Edge refused to go down, and he actually caught Roman lacking, and then he was about to hit him with another spear. However, Seth came back, and then this distraction was what did in Edge, because then it then left him wide open to get hit with the spear, and that was curtains. But Edge didn't let him off that easy, because while he was looking face to face with Roman, he started to beat up. He started to beat up Rollins, and then they went all through the crowd and fighting off like crazy.
Yup, that is what happened. And yes, this is going to set up their match for them at SummerSlam.
Yep, and
also my boy Roman Reigns won and retained the championship.
Yep, and then he wanted the whole WWE universe to acknowledge him. That is until
my boy John Cena came and it sets up their match at SummerSlam. But as we know, they're gonna let Roman take the win at SummerSlam.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I can't even admit I don't fuck with Cena, but the crowd went nuclear. They went absolutely crazy for this guy. The second his music hit, they went crazy. Hell, even the humble man over here couldn't stay humble.
That is correct. I couldn't because Edge returning was, oh my god. Thank God he's back. But yeah, Cena. Yeah, I'm glad Cena's back, of course, too. I'm really glad he's back. This sets up their match for him and Roman at SummerSlam. I mean, I would love for my boy John Cena or my boy Roman Reigns to win, but they're gonna give it to my boy Roman Reigns because my boy John Cena, he has to film a movie again next month, so probably gonna give it to Roman.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, man. Before Cena even came out, I was praying for Big E to come out because I'll be honest, I did not want because if Roman was gonna retain the title, I didn't want him to retain like that. For Seth to pull that bullshit and for Edge to get beaten off a distraction, I ain't wanted to go down like that. I either wanted that or for Edge to win, but it didn't happen. But I still wanted Big E to come down and take the title off of Roman. Like I guarantee that if Big E's music hit, the pop for him would have almost rivaled Cena's. But he would have had to like come from behind Roman or something.
I'm really glad that's crazy. If SummerSlam should be good, I'm glad my boy John Cena came back.
Yep, and for me, I really have nothing bad to say about this pay per view minus the Raw Women's Championship finish. But this has been a pretty great pay per view. What say you, humble man?
I say it was pretty good. The only dark side of it is Charlotte Flair winning probably her 11th championship, but other from that, the pay-per-view was great.
Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you once again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and chill with us here, us Kick Our Wrestling Knowledge. If you enjoyed this video, what I'm saying, hit the like button. Comment if you feel like it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And by way of Struggle Vision Productions, it's the Hitman and the Humble Man. We out.
Yes, sir. We out, my man. Cause Painting, always a pleasure being on your show and you having me. Another diehard wrestling fan like myself. So later, we out.
Peace.